Going back to your story a little bit, you come back, you decide to come to Miami. You're single at the time. I know you're married now with your second baby on the way.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you about that. How did that come about, that part of your life? And the other thing is, as a nightlife entrepreneur, usually we see that anybody in your position is usually single, you know? They don't necessarily train the way that you train. So how do you balance the nightlife with having such a beautiful family and such like a calm life in your family aspect and train so hard as well?
Yeah, and also because Mio is always in great shape. Mio is always like looks good. Like how you deal with that, like having to be awake at nights normally, and also have to train to lift and to do jiu-jitsu to keep you a health lifestyle.
Because one of the worst things for an athlete is not to be able to sleep well.
Yeah.
And I would see you sometimes late at the club running everything, and then the next day here you were in class at 6:30 in the morning.
Right.
I was like, what is wrong with
The Superman.
Yeah, it was. It is hard. It's probably one of the hardest things is the no sleeping. And listen, when you own a nightclub, you're drinking a lot too because you're doing shots with everybody and toasting, and that doesn't make anything easier, you know. And I've done that for a very long time, where I would party, so to speak, at night, even though when I'm working, but you need to be the life of the party. And the next day I would wake up and go to the gym and lift weights or run or do whatever. So I always had that. That was my way of resetting the next day, was to sweat it out and to be active. Otherwise it's a downward spiral, you know, and you'll never catch up. Yeah. So I always had that. And, you know, being single, having a nightclub, you know, it's great, but I've done it for such a long time, maybe not owning a nightclub, but being in the nightclub, that I needed a change. Right. And I met my wife. I met her in a nightclub. I actually met her at Wall nightclub. And we clicked. And I knew right away. I said, no, I'm gonna marry this girl. That's it. Yeah. I didn't hesitate. I knew right away. Right. And
this was how long ago?
This was 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Fast forward to now.
Now I'm as happy as can be. An amazing woman by my side. I have a beautiful son and a daughter on the way. You know, a couple of weeks away.
That's incredible.
So yeah, it's awesome.
Amazing.
But I did stop drinking when I met her.
Nice.
That changed a lot.
So right now you don't drink anymore?
I don't drink anymore.
So you evolved. Now you literally just work.
Yep.
Still take care of the business, but that's how you're able to balance.
It makes it easier.
It makes
it easier. And you know, right now the worst thing that can happen to me, and when I wake up, is I could be a little tired. Yeah. You know, you drink a coffee, you wake up and you go. Before, you wake up, you have a hangover, you have a headache, you don't feel good. So I didn't want that anymore. And also, you know, when you drink, you make dumb decisions. So I respect my wife so much that I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna keep drinking and behaving like a young guy because I respect her. So I didn't want to disrespect her by doing something silly. And that's why I stopped drinking.